The message came from my wife at exactly 7:14 p.m. Working late again. Big project. I replied instantly. You're so committed. But deep down, I already knew better. A man senses when something shifts, when laughter starts sounding rehearsed, when glances become brief, and when late at work begins to mean don't wait up. Out of instinct more than suspicion, I called her office. The receptionist answered with that practiced politeness. Oh, everyone left at 5. 5. I stayed still, the phone warm in my hand, watching the second hand crawl across the clock face like a dull blade. Then I opened the location app I'd quietly installed months earlier, disguised as a safety precaution. The screen blinked back a pin, a bar on 7th Street. I drove there slowly, not in anger. Not yet. Anger is loud. I needed quiet. The bar smelled of whiskey, wood polish, and something else, dishonesty. My eyes adjusted to the dim light, and there she was, laughing. Her head tilted back, fingers resting gently on another man's hand. A laugh that once belonged to me. I sat at the bar and ordered a drink I never tasted. 20 minutes later, her gaze finally found me. The color drained from her face. She stood, fumbling for words. Oh, this is Mark. My coworker. Coworker. The word rang in my head like a cracked bell. The ride home was wordless. Her perfume, sweet and sharp with guilt, filled the car. Inside, she started explaining before I could even speak. It's not what you think. He's going through a divorce. I was trying to comfort him. I poured myself a glass of water just to keep my hands busy. Comfort, I repeated, tasting the bitterness in the word. Then came tears. They always do. Tears are the native tongue of the guilty. I listened, nodded now and then, believing none of it. When her voice finally broke into silence, I said the only thing that felt honest. Okay. She blinked, surprised. That's it. I nodded again. That's it. She didn't need to see the storm coming. Not yet. I kissed her forehead and told her to rest. She did. Guilt exhausts people. But I lay awake, eyes tracing the ceiling, mind replaying every late meeting, every sudden phone call, every strange shift in tone. By morning, I knew what had to be done. Not to confront, to confirm. I began small, calculated. Phone logs. Call history. Late-night conversations marked as office rerouted to the same unknown number. Always the same. The next night, I drove by that same bar. Her car wasn't there. His was. Then I searched social media. He existed, same surname as one of her clients. Recently divorced. Smiling in a photo beside a woman who wasn't my wife. Posted 3 months ago. I memorized his face, the arrogant tilt of his jaw. But anger wouldn't help. Precision would. So I waited. She lied more effortlessly now, unaware that I'd already learned the rhythm of her deceit. I became quieter, gentler. It unsettled her. 2 weeks later, she left her phone charging in the kitchen. A message appeared on the screen. Last night was perfect. Same place Friday. I took a photo of it and forwarded it to myself before erasing the thread. Moments later, she came downstairs smiling. You're up early. I smiled back. Couldn't sleep. Friday came. She dressed differently that night. Heels she hadn't worn in years. Lipstick too deliberate. From across the street, I watched her meet him again. Same bar. Same table. I didn't go inside. I didn't have to. I took photos instead. Each touch, each whisper, every piece of proof. That night, I printed the pictures one by one. The hum of the printer pulsed like a heartbeat. When she came home past midnight, I was waiting at the table. The photos were spread out like evidence at a trial. She froze. Her purse slipped from her hand. I didn't speak. She reached for one of the pictures, her hand resting on his cheek, and whispered, "I'm sorry." Those words floated in the air, meaningless and far too late. I looked at her calmly. How long? She hesitated. A few months. I nodded once. Thank you for being honest. That was all. I stood and left the room. The next morning, I quietly moved half of our savings into another account. Then, without malice or hesitation, I sent the photos to her boss from an anonymous email, no message, just the images. By noon, she called me from the office parking lot, sobbing. They've suspended me. They think I broke company policy. Please tell them it's not true. I said nothing. She came home early. Mascara streaked down her cheeks. You did this, didn't you? I looked at her like she was a stranger speaking a language I no longer understood. I didn't do anything, I replied, and technically that was true. I'd only revealed what already existed. 2 weeks later, she packed her things in silence. No fight, no shouting. I even helped carry the boxes to her car. When she turned to speak, I interrupted softly. Drive safe. Then I closed the trunk. Now the house is quiet again, the kind of quiet that once felt lonely, but now feels deserved. Sometimes I drive past that same bar. I never go in. I just watch the lights flicker on the glass, remembering the night everything changed. People say heartbreak burns like fire. Wild, painful, uncontrollable. They're wrong. It's ice, silent, precise, and when it sets, nothing escapes. Not even regret. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe to Cheating Stories Insight World for more gripping tales.